Hi, this is Bill, and you're on Finest Travel Beat with Angel and Bill. Today we take you to Fairbanks, Alaska, as part of our Princess Alaskan cruise tour before we went on the Sapphire Princess. Honestly, this ended up being one of the most interesting and educational days of the entire trip. We visited the Alaska Pipeline, did some panning for gold, took a riverboat, train, lots of things that you'll see throughout this video. So sit back, relax, and we hope you will enjoy this video. Thanks again for watching. This excursion combined a few things all in one day. Visit to the Trans-Alaska Pipeline, visit to Gold Dredge 8, and then a river cruise on the Riverboat Discovery. We'll go through all those throughout the video. It was a long day, but definitely one of those that we really learned something about Alaska, how the people lived, both in old times and current times, and how this area even became settled in the first place. So we're going to walk you through the whole video and show you how the day went. It began with a stop at the Trans-Alaskan Pipeline that is way more impressive in person. It is huge. It runs 800 miles from the oil fields in Alaska's North Slope all the way down to Valdez. It was finished in the 1970s, and it's definitely one of the most impressive engineering projects you'd ever see. It runs through rivers, mountains, over permafrost, right through earthquake zones. It was very, very interesting. They gave us a little bit of talk and explained all that. Definitely one of the highlights of the trip, and you can actually walk right up and to touch it. After that, we took a quick train ride on a small historic railroad that takes us out to Gold Dredge 8. The train ride's short, but it's a really nice transition to the gold rush part of the day. The guides talked about how the railroads were critical during Alaska's early mining days. The staff there was very friendly and very accommodating, and it was a really relaxing start to the day. Now, although we arrived in Alaska a few days early, rented a car, we have some videos on what we did in Fairbanks. This was technically the first day of our 11-night Alaskan cruise tour with Princess. This was part of the 4 days. This was our day in Alaska, in Fairbanks, Alaska. This excursion was included in the cruise fare. Princess and Holland America, who are sister companies, have many, many options. As you can see here, we stopped and watched some of the equipment that showed how they dug up the ground to get the gold out. I won't go too much into detail on that. But again, some cruise tours include these excursions, some don't. So hopefully, by watching this, you'll decide whether this particular extension is right for you. Gold Dredge 8, which you'll see here in a couple of seconds, was built in 1928 and operated until 1959, which was pretty shocking to us. I really thought that they had stopped using this type of equipment much earlier than they did. This was not a small-scale gold panning operation. This was industrial mining. The dredge floated in the water and used giant buckets to scoop up massive amounts of earth from the riverbed. The guide was very good explaining how the whole process worked, that the dirt and rock were pulled up, washed through the system, and heavy gold settled out while everything else was discarded. Over its lifetime, this dredge processed millions of tons of material and recovered huge amounts of gold. The thing that we really loved about this excursion the entire day was that the storytelling that was involved. The guides really did explain how the whole process worked. You found out what life was actually like for miners, long days, brutal winters, and no guarantees that you'd strike it rich. As you can see here, in a couple of minutes, we'll show you us panning for gold. But here, this is a demonstration of somebody showing you kind of how to do it, and you'll see that in a couple of minutes. Now again, panning for gold was included in this excursion. I believe these are all available individually also if you were doing Alaska and on your own thing. But again, this was part of the Alaskan cruise tour we selected for our group. You get off the train, and then they're going to hand you little bags that have some dirt in them, some stone in them, and some gold flakes as well. If they get you a little big, you'll walk over to one of these tables, sit down. They have plenty of space for everybody. The process here was really good because the you would time the amount of time you were there, so it wasn't like you were going in and trying to compete with other people. Everybody was sitting down at the same time and then finishing as you would like to. There is a little, as you can see, a little trough in front of you. There goes Angela trying to sluice for gold. It's an interesting process where basically what you're trying to do is get the water off, and the gold flakes are a little heavier, so they should be settling to the bottom of the pan. A lot more work than you would think, and everybody pretty much walked away with at least a few flakes of gold. Afterwards, you could go into a huge shop that had some really, really good stuff. They give you like a little film canister that you put your gold flakes in. You go there, you can get it weighed. They'll tell you how much gold there is. And then, of course, there's a shopping opportunity where you can buy different souvenirs that have the gold flakes in them. Angela and I chose a little Christmas ornament that we can put on a tree, which is really cool. Some people also selected jewelry. After we did a little bit of shopping, we took a walk out to the Gold Dredge itself, where you can go in and walk around and see what it was like. Again, this is just very, very interesting thing to do. The other thing I mentioned about shopping. Believe it or not, through our entire 2 weeks in Alaska, they had some of the best Alaskan souvenirs, shirts, and merchandise that we saw at any of the places. It was a little bit different than they had in some of the more touristy places like Ketchikan and Juneau. So they're definitely a place to check out. If you see something that interests you, probably a good spot to pick it up. After spending some time shopping and checking out Gold Dredge 8, we boarded the train for the short ride back to the shuttle bus, which then took us over to the Riverboat Discovery. As you could see, everybody there was very, very friendly, and they waved goodbye as we were leaving the Gold Dredge. The next stop from the Gold Dredge 8 was the Riverboat Dock, and we stopped at the Riverboat Dock for lunch, which was included. A couple of caveats about this is that there were multiple tours operating that get on do both the lunch and get on the riverboat. So if you have to use a bathroom, do so as soon as you get off the bus, because the lines got pretty long, and then there was a bit of a line to get in to the lunch, but it wasn't really too bad. Once you're inside, as you can see, it's family style seating. It's all set up. There's some bread and plates in front of you. Sit down with your friends. They'll kind of guide you in the direction that you need to go in, depending on what tour number you are on. And the lunch was served family style. It was a hearty stew. Now, I'm not a big vegetable or stew person, but those that had it said it was really, really good and they enjoyed it. It was kind of appropriate for Alaska, very filling and warm, getting you ready for the rest of the afternoon. After lunch, we boarded the riverboat. Now, one thing that I will point out is that you didn't have a whole lot of time between lunch and when it was time to board the riverboat. As you can see, the line forms pretty quickly. So if you want a seat, I would recommend getting there somewhat early. The seats were all kind of taken. And unfortunately, some people just save seats for everybody. So that was a little bit of an issue earlier. But as people got up and they walked around, it wasn't as bad as we went along. There you can see that little village where they had the dining hall and the shops and things. Really, really quaint, beautiful. It was a beautiful day on the Channel River. This was filmed in June. It was in the middle of a heat wave in Fairbanks. It was actually a high of 85 degrees. So it was absolutely gorgeous and a beautiful day to be out on the Channel River. As we show you a little bit of the Channel River, we'd like to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you want to see the rest of this series. There's several up there on North Pole, Alaska, the Channel Hot Springs, various other things to do, and we'll have a video for every one of the ports we've done and some overall reviews. If you're enjoying this video, hit that thumbs up button too. It really helps the channel out. The Riverboat Discovery was definitely one of the highlights of the day. It is a large stern wheeler, cruises along the river, and lets you know how important the rivers still are in Alaska. The narrator was a former radio guy, and he was phenomenal. I mean, the amount of information that he gave out, it was just overwhelming. This video could be 2 hours long, which is some of the information he gave. And as you'll see in a second here, one of the big highlights was they talked about float planes and how important float planes are in Alaska, and we'll actually see it taking off right here. One of the other amazing stops along the way was the dog sled mushers camp, run by Tekla Butcher, who was the legendary Iditarod champion Susan Butcher, considered the greatest musher of all times. And this was very interesting. You got to see the dogs that were running around. And again, if you do this tour, you'll get to see that. One thing that we took away from watching the dog sleds throughout Alaska was how much they really enjoy doing it. It's a fascinating history as well. Next up, in our last stop on the riverboat tour, we actually got off for a Native Alaskan village stop. You walk through the village. There's several areas. This was definitely one of the more meaningful parts of the day. You'll see a traditional fish camp, the smokehouses used to preserve salmon. There you can see the reindeer, different birch bark canoes, the tools that we use throughout Alaskan history, and then also some of the gear and the clothing that was worn by the indigenous communities to live off the land and the rivers. It definitely gave us a better understanding of life before modern Alaska existed. Things were spread out in various areas, so you could walk from one area to the other and check out the demonstrations or the discussions. It didn't get very crowded. Very beautiful day, as you can see. It was just gorgeous out. And definitely one of the highlights is we went over and actually saw some of these dog sled puppies up close. They're very friendly. We did a dog sled excursion in Juneau. That will be on a later video. That was absolutely amazing. You're not going to want to miss that one. But these dogs were great, and it was just so much fun watching them kind of do their thing, and they come over and you can pet them as well. Anyway, we're trying to keep these videos somewhat short. Like I said, we're going to do one on every day with that of the pre-tour, and then one for every port when we're on the actual cruise. We just kind of want to give you an idea of what this is like. Before we did this group tour, we kind of knew about it, but you didn't know about it. So hopefully this video will really help you make your decision or maximize your time once you're there. Again, this was not just riding on boats and buses. We really learned a lot. There was so much history involved. The narration was great. You can't say enough good things about this excursion or the day we spent. It was a long day, so be prepared, but it was a lot of fun. Again, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate all of the support and all the views we've gotten on our videos. And on behalf of Angela, we hope you've enjoyed, and we'll see you on our next adventure. Bye-bye, everybody.